tad fast. Chicken. Welcome to Redmayne's cutting board. We're pretty busy, thank goodness. I've got a few cloths that I've pulled out here before we start chopping them. It's not all of them, but some of them are quite interesting. And I know that you like looking at the cloths. I also have this fantastic tool which might help you. This was bought for me by a client. And what a lovely gift. I mean, beautifully, it's made in Italian. And I said, wow, that's really so kind of you, sir, to get me this lovely present. And of course, the reality of it is, when I met him afterwards, I said, do you know something? This present, and before I could say it, he said, you need it, don't you? And he's right. This is brilliant. Rather than putting glasses on and off, it's really good. So I might use it today, okay? Right, what have we got here? We've got a selection of cloths. There's a lot more in the back room, but a lot more standardized, but some of these are just interesting. I've got some of the classics, and we'll share them with you, and we'll have a look, and you can tell me what you think. They're not in any particular order, although there are some that I'm going to try to kind of compare, because we've got like Fimarescos and we've got some frescoes in here, and it'll be nice to mix them up for you. Okay, first on the top, this is great because of its simplicity, okay? It's absolutely ideal. So this is a Glorious 12, number 26233. It's a grey herringbone. It is exactly like the name suggests, Glorious 12, a sportier twist worsted. It's not a tweed, it's not an ordinary suiting. I don't know how well you can see it, but just a lovely sporting herringbone, and with the help of my magnifying glass, you can see that beautifully. So that is just terrific. What's not to like on something as simple as that? Now then, something a little bit more interesting here. Who's it from? It's our friends at Fox Brothers. They always have very long names. Actually, this is quite good. So WF2-74. Okay. Now then. Woven in England, Fox Brothers, the classic worsted flannel. So it's not your standard flannel. Worsted flannel has a little bit more firmness to it, okay? You can possibly see, if I open this out, you can see it's a flannel. You can see that softness. This is an example of Fox, which just shows how good they are at doing this. I don't quite know where to begin on the colours. To you, it probably looks greyish with a perhaps hint of blue, but with my magnifying glass, we've got sort of a rusty colour in there going with the grey, a beautiful fine blue that really complements it. And although it's just a thin overcheck in blue, it kind of lifts it. You can see the blue in the whole piece.
If I might interject, Thomas, this is actually a darker version of one that you cut last, I think either early this year or last year.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you are. And what did the customer follow on for? Is it just coincidence?
No, it's complete coincidence.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. It actually, yeah, I think I remember. I remember saying.
And matching the checks.
Yeah, I remember it. Right, I remember. Good job, everybody remembers. Upset me. Beautiful, a bit more formal. But just so much depth to it. I mean, really nice stuff. This I love. And we are very fortunate to be busy. Our Bespoke book is often quite full. And that's because we make for our clients who we've made for a long time. But this gentleman, we've been in communication with for quite a while. And he's a bit of a fan, let's put it that way. And he's found himself in the position to order Bespoke, and we managed to get him in, and we are so delighted because the fellow is absolutely charming. So this is another Fox cloth, and looking at the name here, this is definitely a long Fox name. BCC 9L-A2787/33. Work that one out yourself. But look at the colours in this for a coat. And just, come on, you've got to admit, this is beautiful. Fox Brothers, one of their Fox tweeds. Vintagey maybe. I don't feel like it's super vintage. It seems to have heritage. It doesn't look old. These colours are so rich. I mean, this check is beautiful. Again, you've got depth in the background, you've got the over check in one shade, and then you've got this lovely orangey, rusty colour that is just so pleasant on the eye. I mean, it's just delicious, isn't it? This is a coat you will fall in love with and wear for 25, 30 years, and when it's threadbare and worn out, you'll still keep wearing it. I'd keep wearing it. This is something that's going to improve with age. They all improve with age, but this is gorgeous. So good choice. Good choice. Yeah, this is another Fox. Some of their cloth numbers have really short things, and some of them it's like War and Peace. Are you ready for this? FS Fox Sierra 362-Alpha 3251/11. This is a bit like the 4-point star texture material. Really nice simplified gun club check. It's a great texture, this. It really is. Lovely grey brown grey in there. Again, a bit vintagey, but again more sort of heritage. And I know it sounds weird because vintagey looks older, like when you buy old things, but it's more the heritage in this cloth that they seem to have pulled out, to my mind. But it's terrific, isn't it? It really is terrific. That I know where that's going. That's gone to Southern California. Can you believe it? But I'll tell you what, nice, really nice. What have we got here? There's a few Foxes here. It's pure coincidence and pure luck. It's the way there's lots of others down here, I promise. For the same gentleman. Beautiful in its simplicity. Let's just double check this out. Fox Brothers, woven in England. Okay, so this again has it's more of a pure flannel feel to it, although I'm not entirely sure if it's a worsted flannel. I think it is a worsted flannel, but it feels softer than the one we looked at a bit earlier. A nice sort of double window pane, and you see the double window pane because you've got the red there, and then you've got this very fine sort of off-white grey overcheck on this, again, beautifully coloured background. To say it's blue is too simplistic. The greyness and the depth in there is part of the texture in it. I mean, a beautiful coat, beautiful. I'm not even going to look at that one because it's Fox again, which is crazy. So let's just move that to the side for a minute. Oh, come on. Chairman of the board. Lessers. Now we're talking. We don't sell a lot of stripes. People love them, okay? This one is a stunning pinstripe. I think I've said this before, and I don't want to bore you, but very briefly. The consensus that I pick up is that people think a chalk stripe is wide and pinstripes are narrow. Fair point, but it's not actually true. A chalk stripe is the type of weave, and it gets its term from a piece of chalk being marked on the cloth, and you see the diagonal weave in there. A pinstripe is sharper, and they can be narrow, they can be wide. So this is ... And you don't even need a magnifying glass, but with the help of my magnifying glass, you can see the pin stripe in this perfectly. Let me remind myself who this is for. All right, okay, fantastic. this is going to be a classic business suit. This gentleman's had all sorts of things from us, but this, he's labelled this for his business, which is in finance. It is a bit uniform, and I mean that as in it's what you would expect people sometimes to wear, but it's still beautiful, it's still timeless, and pinstripes, choke stripes, pinstripes more I think, are always really flattering because they're always really striking. They've got that shape to them. Terrific, absolutely lovely, and lessers, so really, really good. Right, okay, this one I really like. I love this. So it's like a sort of puppy tooth in blue, and this, if I'm not mistaken, is the fresco. But it's one of the heavier ones, and it just feels... Fresco and Finmoresco are brilliant because they have body. Even though they're light in weight, they have real body. And this, as I hold it, it's kind of like, you know, I will serve you for years, master. It's substantial, but it's not really that heavy. You can see through it. Can you see through there? All wool, made in England, fresco light. A terrific suit for today's world, where, you know, we just had a bit of skiing in Bavaria. We were blessed to go skiing with the family in Bavaria, and there wasn't much snow. And I tell you what, it was 15 degrees, 16 degrees in the valley, which in American money's 60-ish, mid-60s. That's pretty warm, and that's a fact of life. The world's getting a bit warmer, isn't it? But what a great cloth, and you can tell as you throw this around. I always recommend these for people because I say you can roll them up and put them in an overhead locker and things like that on an aircraft. Very durable, terrific. Right, why did I pull these two out? Okay, I think I know the reason why. Because this is always a bit of a challenge for us. So this cloth is Smith Woolens, fantastic house, part of the Harrison's group, okay? Made in England, especially for Smith Woolens, okay? So it's just a classic worsted, but I don't know if you can see, it is actually midnight blue. I hope first impressions and the way this camera works, does it look midnight blue or does it look black?
It looks black at this point.
Good, it's supposed to. For dress wear, midnight blue really should look black until you're standing next to somebody in a black suit, then it looks blue. And that's what this is, to perfection actually. I've got a black here, which is why I had them remotely together. So this fellow's being, so this fellow, he's in the UK. This gentleman's West Coast, California. Look at those two now. Chalk and cheese. Okay. William, our apprentice, has a midnight blue dinner suit that we did, and you might see it was on our website. It was an Acclaim, really fabulous, and it looks like a black suit until he stands next to me, because I wear black. But doesn't that show the subtle difference? Again, I don't know if it can be shown in the photography, but if I wave this around and say to you, that's a black suit, okay, Smith Woolens, that's black dress wear. It hopefully looks black, but that is black, okay? And I don't know if you can see the difference. When you put them together, can you see the difference more?
I can.
Yeah?
Well, wait, why don't you tell us if you can see the difference?
Well, it's everyone can see the difference, but the key thing is if we didn't have that here, and I said to you, this is a black dinner suit, or this is for evening wear, would you presume it's black? Because really that's what you should be presuming as it stands alone. I'm going to have to tidy all these up because I'm going to have to tidy them up. Okay, so Fox Brothers are waving their head at me. I may as well point this out. Oh, do you want the number of this? Why not? These are both fabulous cloth. They're both Smith woolens. They're both really good. So the midnight blue is Smith woolen 7818, and the black is Smith woolens 7844. There you go. Write it down in your book. Okay, another chapter of War and Peace from Fox Brothers. Get ready for this. Fox Sierra 241-Alpha 2627/21. Okay, stunning cloth. Looks a bit of fun, doesn't it? This is Fox Air, I think. Really nice, lightweight, just bright. It's cheery. Cheers me up. Do I look grumpy? Because I get grumpy, I tell you. This is beautiful. I mean, basically this has got red, white and blue in it. How fabulous is that? That's terrific. That makes you smile. This is really lovely. Oh, right, and I know exactly who it's for. Good choice. Really good choice. Now then. This is nice. I wish you could reach in. So this is Fox Brothers lamb's wool and cashmere jacketing, and it says it all really. Lamb's wool and cashmere from Fox Brothers. That is a beauty. It feels very, very special. I'm too rough on clothing. I might be a bit too scared to wear this. But look at this. I'm going to check who it's for, and it's going to be the wildest hellraiser of a client I've got in the books. Actually, it is. You know who this is, Andrew, and we know Andrew. He comes across as polite and charming and mild-mannered, but he's quite the hellraiser. We've been out before, so he must be maturing in age to feel like he can cherish this. But this is exquisite. It really is. I don't know if it was really expensive or anything. I can't remember. I'll be on. Or you're not. You're nodding. Okay. So it's quite pricey, but it's quite special. Honestly, this is. It's going to be much liked. Now then, what's going on here? These all look very calm and normal. This is the one that I wanted to bring out for you, and this has got real body. This is the very interesting Fin Moresco. I think they used to say the greatest travel suit in the world, and it has this airplane flying around on the label. What I said about the fresco, this kind of durability feel, this thing's a different league. Again, very similar 2-ply or 3-ply. I can't remember what they do here. So it has a dry feeling to it, but this is where it gets the super durability. Travel suiting made especially for Smith Woolens of London. Fin Moresco, I like frescoes, Fin Morescos. There's Fox Air, there's a few people doing this high twist tackle, but Fin Moresco and fresco, you could argue, are the daddies. And I think when I was at Harrison's and we did a video, I think Mark kind of went, yeah, FRESCO there. Well, this is their version, Fin Moresco, but this is good, but it's generally heavier. So very user friendly. I mean, there's a bit of weight in there. I think this is about 13 ounce, but it's a very porous high twist, so therefore it's actually cooler than you think. And of course it's wool, so it wicks and breathes beautifully. But you know, I wouldn't hesitate. That is, you could travel 10,000 miles and that will always look good. So that's why it's there. This is nice. I don't We don't see this quite as much as you might think, and you're looking at it and you're going, well, it looks like a grey flannel to me. And it is. That's exactly what it is. It's a grey flannel pair of trousers to go with a classic blazer for a lovely old client of mine. This is from Holland and Cherry. But because the flannels, they've brought back, especially Fox have been a bit at the forefront, they've brought back these designs and they've made them fantastic. People seem to have looked more at these checks and different things. So this is, just look at it, it's an English pair of grey flannels. How beautifully simple is this? With a beautifully nice, bold, shiny black pair of Oxfords and a nice blazer. That's lovely. If you want the number of it, it's cloth number 8422112. Weight of it, I don't know, 11, 12 ounce classic flannel. Just nice, just timeless stuff. What have we got here? Oh, I think I've got a bit of a competition on my hands here, which only I can explain. Right. So here are a couple of Lessers cloths, okay? So the number is cloth number 29760. Solid blue. Woven in England for Lesser and Son. It feels like, you know, the 11 ounces range. It's an English blue suit. It's an English navy suit. It's got softness. It's got strength. It's got beautiful depth of colour. It's just class, okay? It's fabulous. Let's take this linen out of the way. This one here is another Lessers. You can tell I've rehearsed this, can't you? Okay, so this is another Lessers, and I'll give you the number, 30948. Same tackle. Again, exquisite handle, quite frankly. And I remember some of you might be out there going, oh, Lesser's not the same as it used to be. You watch the last video, we spoke about this. It is. And this is excellent cloth. The reason why I wanted to show you something, and I'm doing such a bad job of it, you can tell we rehearse all of these. Here we go. Is I wanted to show you this, which is, I've probably spoke about this before. We make a lot of suits, and the facts don't change. So I will probably repeat myself, and those of you who are kind to watch in the past, you see, you've told me this before, but you know, there you go. Lessers cloth, really good quality because of the yarn that's used in the first place. Okay. I'm not going to blind you with science, it's just quality, okay? It's not like a Super 180s or anything out there like that. This is a very interesting cloth. It's well priced, it makes up beautifully. I'm always a little bit, oh, this isn't as good as this. But actually, I don't know why I say that. Well, I do know why I say that. Because I've been around for 40 odd years cutting suits, and I was cutting these ones 40 years ago, and I was only cutting these ones, well, I would like to think it was 10 years ago, but it's probably 20 years ago now. So this is a Lessers 11-ish. This is Huddersfield Fine Worsteds, but wait for it, gets sexier. This is the QX2 Super 150s all wool, made in Huddersfield, England. This is a brilliant cloth. I feel it's a little bit forgotten about, perhaps, but it really is brilliant. And cloths, very quick one. When we put our prices on the website, and we try to be as transparent as we can. And the made-to-measure prices are based on house cloths, which are generally Alfred Brown, which are woven in Yorkshire, but they come straight from the mill, and they're brilliant. Then when you go to the merchants, as we've discussed in other videos, that it's a different kettle of fish. There are different costs for different types of fabrics. Some of them can be a little bit more, some could double the price of a suit, triple it. These are 2 premium cloths. This is probably a little bit more expensive. This is not as expensive. Oh, I'm going to upset everyone here, but I tell you what, it's bloody good stuff, this. It really is. I've never owned a suit out of it. I make suits for other people. I never get suits. We know that one. And they're always blown away by it. They're always blown away by this, but they're always blown away by this as well. It's... I mean, what's not to like? It's a mid-grey, beautiful Super 150s. They changed the name a little bit because years ago, and this is why I say time flies, I remember somebody from Huddersfield Fine Worsted coming to me with like a sheet of this and saying, look at this is a Super 150s. What do you think of Super 150s? Not that much. Have to charge more. I don't like working with it. It creases more and it's never as robust. This is different. We've worked hard on it. Try it. And you know what? It is. There's lots of cloths in the world. There's stuff made all around the world, and they will promise the earth. They will say it's a Super 160s. They'll tell you anything. What you want to be able to do is trust your cloth and trust your tailor. And this is trustworthy, reasonable. Of course, there is an added cost. It's a Super 150s, but this is really good stuff. Really good stuff. You know how much I love the lessers, okay? You will not find anything here that we don't like because we just wouldn't supply it. I mean, we just said to people, sorry, that's off the agenda. So I'm like a record going round saying the same bloody thing, which will drive you around the twist. But actually, I do separate all these. I do discern them. And all cloths require... People need slightly different things, okay? You're trying to tick these boxes. So, I mean, I hold this lesser in my hand. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Looks a little bit more matte. This looks a little bit more elegant. And that is not a plus for that. It's just different, okay? Some have more reflective, elegant look about them. Some are a little bit more flatter and matte in their, a bit more workaday feel, which some people like. Again, this is just honesty. It's just good. You order this stuff, you're all right. You're doing okay. Really nice. I need a drink of water. What have we got here? Lessers. Okay, same applies. Lovely blue. Maybe I looked at this before, I can't remember. Beautiful. 30920. Super duper stuff.
Where's that one headed?
Somewhere in America. I can't remember. I can remember the chat, but I can't remember which city. Look at this. It gets sewn plastic. I was going to be crude there. Gets its own thing. Sleeve. Nice bit of cloth. Do we bring it out? Tailors are terrified of things like this. Holland and Sherry 318068. Ooh, this feels very nice.
I know who that one's for.
Yeah, this is gorgeous, isn't it? Oh! Superfine 140s Luxury Merino by Holland and Sherry Savile Row. Can you see that? Holy cow. This is stunning. And it's for an ivory dinner jacket for the summer. We love these. We dread making them because tailors with their hands have always been drinking coffee and eating bars of chocolate and things, and we have to sterilise them every morning before they come near these things, and me included. But I really hope you can see this. I mean, it feels stunning. This is just lovely. I mean, really, this is what, you know, bespoke tailoring's about. I know there's the suits and everything, but it's when you indulge in something that just paints a big smile on your face all the time. He's going to have to try to stop grinning when he wears this, because he look like he's got a Class A drug habit or something. We'll have to temper the excitement, but it's beautiful. I'm not going to try and put it back in its sleeve. We promise we'll look after it. Look at this. Whew, from one extreme to the other. Holland Sherry, Sherry Tweed, woven in Bonnie, Scotland. Earthy, simple, go with everything. Beautiful with a pair of jeans and a nice suede pair of shoes. That's lovely, isn't it? Really, really nice. That is really nice. What is the number of that? Holland Sherry 8919,000. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Another couple one. This is really good. You're having this. You're having a mesh purple. Claire's having a purple suit that you might have seen, and it's taken us about 1.5 years because I get no clothing and Claire gets even less clothing. But this is for a great friend of ours in Boston, and they tell me it gets very hot in Boston. Well, I always go there in March and I always go there in November, and it ain't hot when I go. It just rains all the time. I guess that's why they call it New England. But I enjoy it. Super Marina mesh blazer, made in England, Holland and Sherry. This stuff is brilliant. I have a blue one of these and I love it. It's very porous. It's got a lovely texture to the cloth that makes it super individual. It's just brilliant tackle, this. I mean, I think Holland and Sherry kind of nailed it with this. There's a few people do similar, but this is the one that keeps working all the time. Seems to, you agree? Yes. It's popular. I mean, it just is, isn't it?
People doubt it, they see it, they try it, they love it.
Yeah. So,
you have a blazer too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Excuse me, top marks, Holland and Sherry. They're wool mesh blazering. There are no checks or stripes in there. They're all solids, but they're good. They're really good. I love this and I love this client as well. So this is Dugdale Brothers, and the cloth number, I'm trying to think. Oh, we've got order number, stock number. I don't think that's the quite number. We'll have to come back to you on there. Order number
at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, we'll work it out. So this is for a client of mine in Boston. Okay, it's just for a pair of trousers. Look at this. Look at the, you know, the reverse side and the change. This is old school. Honestly, this is a fantastic pair of trousers. These will last for years. To be honest, you don't see people order this much these days, and I absolutely love it. Dugdale Brothers.
Has the cloth got a particular name, that double-sided piece?
Well, it doesn't. It has a woven selvage, but it's got nothing written on it. I've got order number, I've got quantity and invoice number. Well, product INV043, maybe that's it. We can check it. We'll all find out. Another drink of water necessary. Right, what we got here? Sexy. QZ2, we spoke about it before, so I can save my breath. Super 150s. Just, again, that magic handle. Lovely Glen check, Urquhart check. These go all sorts of different names because Prince of Wales, the Glen checks, it comes from quite a bold country check. But anything that has this traditional design to it, we call a Prince of Wales or whatever, generally a Prince of Wales. Beautiful, it's got a purple window pane. Should I should I use my magnifying glass? It would make me look more dedicated. I'll take this very seriously. Yeah, it's absolutely lovely. Really nice. What appeals to me is the quality, is just this drape, this texture. If you could feel this, honestly, it's amazing. And another one. We're having a run. QZ, Huddersfield Fine Wostards. This is nice. It's, again, same quality. But I mean, that is stunning, actually. This is a bird's eye. Beautiful mid-blue, not really your classic navy, but the good thing about it is, look through my magnifying glass, a bird's eye is a really fascinating cloth, or a nail head as you call it in the United States. So when you look at the design here, one part is very dark and one part is really quite light blue, which transfers into this beautiful, elegant blue combination, mid-blue. But if you actually scrutinize it, it's two very different colors. But what happens is, if it was to just be the blue, it would be very, very, very young, very contemporary, very poppy. But having the darker weave in the nail head just kind of like grounds it down a bit, makes it a bit more grown up, makes it a lot more useful. So when you step indoors at a meeting, this doesn't offend anybody, okay? It's elegant and it looks really good. When you get the sun on it, of course, the lighter part comes out, and then you have this more vibrant look. So it's a really cool suit to have. Bird's eyes are one of my favourites. Bird's eyes, nail heads, and this is actually one. This is an Alfred Brown 12 ounce, so it's one of our stock cloths. Do you want to see that? Do you want to see it? Can you see it? Should I get my magnifying glass out? Look, same thing applies. Some part of it is very light and some part of it's really quite dark. Okay, so this is it in motion. This wasn't planned, by the way. It was not planned. But bird's eyes, nail heads, really good for that. You get a similar version in what we call pick and pick. It's finer. But these are a bit meatier and I think they're nice. I don't know what this looks like to you, but it doesn't, this design is quite bold when you look at it on a bunch, but when it's made into a suit, it softens and it just has a suit with an interesting colour. Like this, my idea is this doesn't look too dark and boring. It has a little bit of mid-tone and texture. Maybe you think that, maybe you don't think that. Maybe you think it just looks like an old fart suit and you wouldn't wear it for love nor money, but the choice is yours, isn't it? Lessers. This can get a bit boring, can't it? We select people to go in the same direction all the time. Charcoal, old school, 11, 12. Great. I mean, just fabulous. Do you want the number? If you just want a suit that looks like a British suit, this is it. 29744. Really, really beautiful. I'll have to straighten up. Ignore my bad posture. I've been leaning over these cutting boards too long. If I stand up, I look better. I was going to say, this feels nice. All right, yeah, so we don't do a lot of this cloth. There is no reason why we don't do it. There's a lot of really good cloths out there, but we listen to our clients and then, you know, we say, well, these are some of our favourites for that X, Y, and Z. And, you know, some people are just attracted to the sexy bunches on the front and maybe what they've been reading on the internet and all sorts of stuff. But this is a real stalwart. This is proper tackle. So it's from Huddersfield Fine Worsted, who, as you know, after watching this video, make beautiful, the QZs, Super 150s, stunning. This is a bit more their classic worsted, and it's not a Super 150s, But I tell you what, it's good stuff. It's Huddersfield Fine Worsted, been around a long time, and they're very posh actually, because if you look at their bunches, it has a royal warrant on. So I mean, you got to earn that. What does it say? Enterprise Super 100s. Okay, all wool, just like the lessers there, real quality English suiting. And as I'm a Star Trek fan, how cool to wear a cloth called Enterprise. What have we got here? Holland and Cherry. Now this is quite cool. This is good. I'm glad that this came up. This will actually make the video interesting. Now, look at this. You can tell we're tailors, eh? All right, that's fascinating. It's almost identical. That's just weird that two people have got the same stuff. I thought I was going to have a moan at the cloth merchants there, because sometimes we say we want, 3 meters, 4 meters, or whatever, and they go, well, we've only got this much in stock. If we give you this, there's 2 meters, then we've got 1.5 meters there, but it's off the same piece, it'll be all right. And they normally offload it on us because we can cut it for them. But this is actually for 2 people. Why am I remotely excited about this on your behalf? Because this is Holland and Cherry's. Let's have a look at it here. This is another one of the mesh blazer rings in a solid blue. And I don't know if you can see the difference. And is this one the same, or is it slightly? So it's a different chap. No, it's the same. It's the same piece. Shows how balmy we can get looking at things. I wonder if it's the very same piece of cloth. I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole in a minute. Look, right, I'm going to take you down a rabbit hole. Are you ready? There's Peter. Peter's wandering off for his lunch. He's been here for 50 odd years, so he's allowed to go for his lunch. See you later, Pete. We like to tell the truth at Redmayne, and here's a nice thing to end on. When you look through bunches of cloth with your tailor, you will have cloths that you like, and you will have cloths that you dislike. And what you'll do is you'll often say, I'll narrow it down to these 2 blues or these 2 greys or whatever. And sometimes they're so close from a different merchant, you'll hum and you'll ha, and you'll hum and you'll ha, and then eventually you'll say, I'll go for that one. I think it's just that bit lighter. And we go, very good, sir. Now, so you should do that. Of course you should. But the sad fact of it is, cloth, when it's made, has tiny different shade differences. So what they do is they produce a piece and it's dyed, and they'll make thousands of meters, and it has a piece number. So all tickets, Claire will show you one of these, we'll cover the chap's name. They have the cloth and then they have the piece. And the piece number is literally like batch, it's like a batch of wine. And you will get subtle differences between one piece and the other piece. So what I'm trying to say to you in a very long-winded way, which is always what I do, when you pick a blue in a cloth bunch, of course, that is the cloth that we'll make for you. Nobody ever does this, but if you were to actually get the cloth that is here that we cut and you compare it to the bunch, you might see it's a tiny bit different. What can we do about that? Nothing. Nothing at all. This is natural, it's wool, the dyeing process, some things you just got to live with in life. And this, by sheer coincidence, is an incredible explanation of that. I thought this was the same person and we were getting offloaded 2 pieces from the same bunch, from the same piece, to make a suit of, but no, it's not. It's 2 different people, but it's actually the same cloth. Now I can see, and I'm sure you can see, that one and that one actually a little bit different. You're going to get to see this up close. Is that wrong? No, It isn't. It's a fact. So the cloth, to prove my point, this is Holland & Sherry 3020004. This one is Holland & Sherry 3020004. But the difference is, and if I cover their names, Claire will film this. This is piece number 89439.37. This one is 89439.38. How cool is that? This was not planned. So you've learnt something there. Tailors wouldn't tell you this, because why would they tell you? It's like you just have all these lunatics saying, bring me my bunch, I need to compare it. It's a fact of life. There's nothing you can do about it. Tailors have integrity. When you order number 1, 2, 3, 4, we make you number 1, 2, 3, 4. But of course, it's made in batches, and these two are different. And that's not a problem, because he's ordered that cloth there and he's ordered that cloth there, and everyone's going to be happy. Where we have fun and games is, and clients have found this out, they say, you made me this suit and it's my favourite suit, and I was playing with the children and I ripped a great big hole in my backside and it's unrepairable. Can we order the cloth and make me another pair of trousers? We go, yes, because of the people we deal with, very good chance, but problem is piece number. So this one will have been ordered different times, and you get shade differences. So what we have to do is we have to compare it. Now, if for example that was the case here, could you honestly wear those trousers, if they're both jackets, but could you wear those trousers with that jacket without noticing? Bit dodgy, I think. It's a fact of life. So often we have to turn around and say, sorry, I think you'll just have to have a new suit. Sometimes we can't get away with it. And sometimes it can do you a favour, because the replacement cloth might be a bit lighter in shade, and the jacket that we're matching it up to, for example, or the trousers, because it's been out in the sun and it's been dry cleaned and it's been pressed, it might have gone a bit lighter than the original shade. So sometimes it can work in our favour. But there you are. What a cool thing to end on. A couple of Holland & Sherry fabrics, both gorgeous, both a tiny, tiny bit different. But I promise you these are going to different people. So they won't know. You know, that's cloth. Anything else to catch up on? You've probably seen this in the foreground. It's kind of cool to show you. W Bill, always famous for tweeds, always famous for linens. This is W Bill linen. It's just lovely, isn't it? It's lovely. It'll look like it's been slept in when it's been worn, but that's the charm. Not much to talk about. It's just quality. It's just beautiful. And there's an old client of mine I'm making this for. I think he's having patch pockets. I can't remember. I'll have to check on his pattern.
Cloth number?
Oh, the cloth number. W Bill 61318. What a lovely cut. He lives in Santa Barbara in Southern California. Like, if you look at the weather out here, you wouldn't be wearing this much. This one, I don't know why it's sitting here on its own. Oh, well, you know what? Can I be bothered to do this? Claire will cut this out, so it's not going to bore you too long. Let me find. Right, I'm back. Here's something for you to end on and think about. Lovely gentleman, made for him for a very long time. Like, I'm talking getting on for 20 years. Remember we spoke about this flannel? So he's having this as a pair of trousers. And then he's having, get the middle Thomas, he's having that as a blazer. Fabulous, isn't it? Isn't that just beautiful? Isn't that just elegant? Nice, crisp, white shirt, maybe a knitted woven tie, and beautifully bulled shoes. And funny enough, I know this guy, his shoes are always clean. That's just elegance. It really is. There you are. I will leave you. I'll get on with my work. Thank you for dropping in. Do like this channel, and I don't know why we say that. Do we earn any money out of this channel? I think they promised to send me some money to buy a beer or something, haven't they? Anyway, share it and all of that. You can put the words in my mouth. You watch videos more. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed it.
Let us know which fabric you enjoy seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know, you might even come and have a suit made out of it. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless. Au revoir.